Hi, I'm Fletcher Brown, another artist video blog at KIX96country.com. Our guest today, all the way from southern Mississippi, around Laurel, Mississippi. Is that right?
Yeah.
Please welcome Samantha Landrum to KIX Country.
Hi.
So now you've been singing since you were at least 4 years old.
Yes, when I was 4, that was my first public performance. I sang in church for the first time, and I have not stopped since.
Yeah, exactly. You came up singing around the family business and in church and things like that.
Yeah.
But something happened to you at the age of 13 that made you say, "This is what I'm going to do. This is what I have to do, and I'm going to do it." And you told your dad, "It's like this is my life. This is where I'm going." What was that?
My parents took me to a Keith Urban and Carrie Underwood concert at the Mississippi Gulf Coast for my 13th birthday. And I knew that I always loved to sing, loved performing, but after that, we got in the car and I said, "Mom, Dad, this is what I want to do, and I'll do whatever it takes." So they're 100% supportive. So far, so good.
And 5 years later, here
I am.
Here you are. You've managed. You performed in a number of different, like the Colgate. What's it called? The Colgate.
The Colgate Country Showdown. It's the Texaco Country Showdown now. But I made it to the regional finals in Nashville in 2008, and that's when I started traveling to Nashville and started writing and networking. So. Right people, you meet the right people, and timing is everything.
Yeah, exactly. And you've actually had the opportunity to open for bands like Blake Shelton, Joe Nichols, and you played with Paul Overstreet.
Yeah.
You're actually featured on the Linda McCartney tribute album.
I am. Let Us in Nashville. Yeah. My producer, he called me and he said, "Hey, if you were to be on this tribute to Linda, what song would you sing?" And I said, "Well, let me do some research and I'll get back to you." So I YouTube some songs, and Pipes of Peace just really hit me, and he said, "Do a guitar vocal, send it to me." And I did. He said, "Done, on the record." So we recorded it in the historical RCA studio in downtown Nashville, and they said, "We're doing a concert at the Ryman in November." It was last November. "Would you like to open the show?" And I was like, "No, I'm busy that day. I can't make it." Duh. So I opened the show and Kenny Loggins closed, but all the proceeds go to the Women in Cancer Fund. So it's a great project to be a part of.
Yeah, you got to perform at the Ryman. You're on the Linda McCartney tribute. Did you ever think that you would experience stuff like that as early? I mean, you've only been trying to do this professionally 5 years, and you've already just garnered such great accolades already.
God is good. He's number one in my life, and as long as he keeps opening the doors, I'm going to walk through them. And I'm persistent with my hard work, my work ethic, and my family's supportive. I have a great team. My label is incredible. So the right people, work ethic, and dedication will get you a long way.
You mentioned your producer. Now I know that you worked with Teddy Gentry. Is that?
Yeah. Teddy and I worked together when I was 15. Teddy and I met in an office, and he said, "Sing for me." And I was like, "Okay." So I sang a cappella for him, and I was on a project called Teddy Gentry's Best New Nashville, which is available in Cracker Barrel Old Country stores nationwide. And we worked together for a couple years, and we're still great friends. He's a father figure to me. Great guy, great family. But now my producer is Dennis D'Amico.
Okay.
So he's great. He's worked with Paul McCartney for years.
Oh, he's only worked with Paul McCartney for years.
He's involved in a couple of his projects.
Okay. So now, did you meet your current producer through your record, Reviver Records?
Crazy story. My uncle is a developer in Jackson, Mississippi, and he had some friends down from California one night, and he said, "We're having a bonfire in our woods. Would you come down and sing a few songs?" So I was like, "Well, sure." So I went down, and a couple heard me, and they called Dennis. They're mutual friends of Dennis D'Amico. And they said, "You have to hear this girl." So he was in Nashville, and I was in Nashville at the same time. He said, "Well, come meet and sing for me." So the rest is history.
As they say, it's history. So you're working on your debut album. It's due out early 2013.
Yes.
Now the single "Hometown" that's not an original. That's not one that you wrote.
No.
But you say that the song is so very powerful. The first time you heard it, you were like, "That's my song."
Done.
You burst into tears, and it was like it moved you.
Yeah.
So you had to do that. So talk to us about "Hometown." What is this single?
My hometown. Well, everyone's hometown. You know it like the back of your hand. It's your safe ground. You can always go back there and just feel content. And my friend Carrie, she said, "I've had this song and no one will cut it. I don't understand why." And I said, "Well, play it for me." She said, "Okay, the name of it's Hometown." And just the words just hit me right in the heart. And it was a done deal for me. I wanted to record it, and I played it for Dennis, and he loved it just as much as I did. Basically, the song is about a relationship, and it can go for friendship, relationships, etc. But relationships are special, and you need to know your significant other or your best friend. You know, you need to know them, and they need to be your safe ground. So this says it all.
Okay, well, I'm going to get out of the way, and I'm going to let Samantha Landrum sing her debut single, Hometown, for you right here. We'll come back and talk a little bit more with Samantha about her life and what she's up to, and then, of course, let you know where you can get more of her music. But here's the single, Hometown, on KIX96country.com.
There's a break in the barbed wire fence on the edge of the Fuller farm, halfway between the cottonwood tree and what's left of that rusted out car. There's a crack in the stained glass cross on the back of the fellowship hall, and somebody wrote out "I love Jenny" on the 4th Street sidewalk. Every line, every inch, every mile, every bit of my hometown. In my mind, in my veins, every breath that I take, it's in me now. I wanna know you like the back of my hand, and when I fall, I want you to be my place to land. I wanna know that at the end of the day, that I am yours, and that's never gonna change. That I'm safe and sound in your solid ground. I wanna know you now, like my hometown. There's a million miles of you that I've never driven down, and there are years and years before me, so let it all come pouring out. Every smile, every tear, every scar in the corners of your heart. Every step that you take, every breath that makes you who you are. I wanna know you like the back of my hand, and when I fall, I want you to be my place to land. I wanna know that at the end of the day, that I am yours, and that's never gonna change. That I'm safe and sound in your solid ground. I wanna know you now, like my hometown. I want that city limit sign passing me by, feeling driving down Main on a Friday night. When I look into your eyes, I wanna know you like the back of my hand, and when I fall, I want you to be my place to land. I wanna know that at the end of the day, that I am yours, and that's never gonna change. That I'm safe and sound in your solid ground. I wanna know you now, like my hometown. Like my hometown. I wanna know you now, like my hometown.
And that was Samantha Landrum. Landrum. I'm all discombobulated right now. The song, My Hometown. Samantha Landrum here in KIX Country. Hometown is the name of the single, and it is actually a very, very powerful song, like you said.
Yeah.
Tell us again about your friend, the songwriter who wrote that.
John Knight is the writer, but his friend Carrie is with ZMG, which is a publishing company, and she said this is a great song, and she was right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thankful to have recorded it, and I hope everyone is going to enjoy it as much as I enjoy singing it. And
It's got to be hard to, I mean, because the lyrics are they hit so very close to home, and they're so beautiful with lines like, was 1,000 miles of you I haven't driven down, and that's some really, really, that's poetry right there.
It is. It's really beautiful, and I'm proud of it. I really am, and I think it turned out pretty good.
It did. It turned out very well.
Thank you.
Now, when you're not busy singing and breaking people's hearts and making everybody get all misty and teary-eyed and whatnot, you're usually in the kitchen cooking with your grandmother. Is that correct?
Yes. I grew up super close, in walking distance to my grandparents' house. We have a family business, and it's in the middle. And my family's on one side, and grandmother and granddaddy on the other. So I literally would walk down there at 5 o'clock in the morning and sit on her front doorstep and wait for her to wake up and just to drink coffee with her. So I've grown up in the kitchen with her and cooking. So we put together Samantha Landrum Hometown Cookbook. It is for sale. Christmas is coming up, so good gift. And it has, my single CD in the back. So we put together a lot of my favorite recipes of my grandmother's.
Well, what's your favorite?
Apple dumplings, of course. We have chicken pie.
I'm going to find the apple dumpling and whip it up real quick.
Yeah, so they're great. And for anyone who loves to cook, these are the best recipes there are. So
Mama's cheeseburger pie.
Yeah, so good.
So I know what I'll be doing later on. Cooking out of Samantha Landrum's cookbook.
Yeah, so that's available on SamanthaLandrum.com. And I'm also on Facebook and Twitter, Samantha Landrum. And Hometown is available on iTunes and Amazon. So we're excited. Okay,
SamanthaLandrum.com. That's LANDRUM. SamanthaLandrum.com, and of course find her on Twitter and Facebook.
Absolutely.
If you want to hear the single, make sure you call us up at KIX96 and ask for Hometown, and get a copy of this cookbook. It looks like it got some pretty good stuff in it. Samantha, thanks for coming and visiting us.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right, best of luck also in Nashville, and when you're ready to release your next single, make sure you come back and see us. Okay?
I'll be here. I'll just drop on by.
All right, we're not too far from Nashville, so you're always welcome down here.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for joining us again. This is Samantha Landrum. Visit her at SamanthaLandrum.com. Single is Hometown. You can hear it on KIX96, and we'll see you next time. Another artist video blog at KIX96country.com.